Ridiculous. One was getting to hear absolutely ridiculous things since she entered this place, the building owned by her husband, Jungkook, who was also known to be the Lord of Destruction. It was most probably his ignorance towards the little matters that resulted in this kind of stupid situation. One came to his office a while ago. She had not informed him yet, but before going to his office room, she decided to bring them both a cup of coffee. When she entered the staff room, where the machine was, she found a few employees there. Two of them were using the machine, three of them were waiting, and one decided to be nice and let them have it first, since they came first. But then a woman in high heels and strong attitude went past everyone. The employees using the machine stepped back, allowing her to use it for as long as she wanted. When the woman left, Wine asked one of them who she was. It was clearly rude of her to do that, and Wine wanted to inform this to her husband. There should be no unjust behavior. Lila, she is Miss Choi, boss's wife. Of course, we can't stop her, said one of them. Wine, by your boss' wife, you mean Jungkook's wife? Upon asking, all she received was a nod. Wine scoffed out of disbelief. Wine, and is your dear boss aware of this? Nick, aware of what? That he has a wife? Or his wife is using his coffee machine? Wine, Lord. She left the room, not in the mood for the coffee anymore, and went after that particular Miss Joy. Wine, excuse me, may I know who you are? She said when she managed to catch up to her. Secretary, I am Jungkook's secretary. I have not seen you here before. May I ask you who you are? Wine, I heard you are Jungkook's wife. Secretary, yes. Do you have any business with my husband? Moreover, do you have an appointment with my husband? The confidence with which that woman lied was quite high. No doubt everyone believed her lies. What was her husband even doing? Wine, I don't have an appointment, but I came to meet your dear husband, she said in a sarcastic tone, boldly taking a step forward. Wine, you won't mind, right? Wine felt a few of the employees gathering around, watching the drama. Good. She usually didn't like creating any scenes, but everyone needed to know who was the sole owner of his wife title. Secretary, excuse me, do you know whom you are talking about? My husband is not only the boss here, but the Mafia Lord. People also call him Lord of Destruction. You might wanna be careful there, lady. Wine, of course. I'm aware of everything about him. Which wife wouldn't know about her husband? The words didn't even leave her mouth completely, and she could already hear people whispering. No one believed her. Of course, she was just a stranger. Bruce, there must be a misunderstanding, ma'am. Whatever your problem is, we can discuss it. Please follow me to the reception. An employee approached her politely. She took note of his professionalism. Wine, there clearly is a misunderstanding. This woman is a con. She is making a fool out of all of you. Has your boss ever confirmed the relationship? Vine's eyes turned dark. She had enough of this so called drama. When she met eyes with the secretary again, filled with darkness and rage, the other woman gulped and stepped aside with trembling legs. Vine pushed past everyone. A moment ago, she was treated like a stranger. In fact, a crazy woman claiming to be the boss's wife. But now, no one had the strength to stand before her anymore. She stepped inside Jungkook's office quite disturbed to knock before. She saw how Jungkook's mad expressions, thinking someone came in without permission, turned soft as soon as his eyes fell on her. He was busy, a pile of files in front of him and a phone attached to his ear, while his fingers were over the keyboard of the laptop. Wine sighed. Of course, he didn't have the time to focus on the petty things his secretary was planning behind his back. Wine walked up to him and settled onto his lap, allowing him to continue his call. Jungkook wrapped his arm around her, and Wine snuggled in the warmth of his chest. She missed him. It took him 4 minutes, but when he was done, the first thing he did was kissing her head and snuggling his face in the crook of her neck. Jungkook, what a surprise, my queen. Vine, you're always busy, so I decided to drop by and help my darling. Jungkook, you're here? That's enough of a help. His phone rang again and he turned it off, something that only happens when he's with Vine. Vine, although on my way here, I found your new wife. Jungkook, is that about a new drama you watched? Vine, yeah. It was a pretty big one though. Jungkook pulled back. By the tone, he knew something was up. Jungkook, what's going on? Wine, you need to make time to keep a better eye on your workers. Jungkook, they provide me with my work on time without mistakes. Is there something else I need to check? Wine, the affairs, Jungkook. Apparently, your dear secretary, Miss Choi, claims to be your wife. Not only that, she has somehow managed to make everyone believe that, and she's clearly taking advantage of your name, ruling everyone here like she's a queen. If it was not coming from Wine, Jungkook wouldn't believe it so easily. Then again, he always had quite bigger problems and work to deal to look over some obsessed woman claiming to be his wife. He stood up, helping Vine on her feet without asking another question. He trusted her. Holding her hand, he stepped out of the room with her. As they stood there in front of the employees beside each other, they screamed power. It was so obvious who was the real couple. Jungkook, Mr. Son, he called out to the manager, who instantly stepped forward. Everyone had a shocked look on their faces, and his secretary looked like she wanted to disappear. Jungkook, I need a detailed report on the things Miss Choi claimed or took wrong advantage of using my name. Once you have the list, I'm going to assign a penalty fee to each of them, which she'll be required to pay by the end of the week, even if it's as small as breaking a queue. Miss Choi, sir, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I've been serving you for all these years now. Please reward my work. Vine saw how everyone's face showed either pity or disgust. Surely she had ruled over them enough. Jungkook, Vine here is the only one who deserves the title of my wife. I belong to her and her alone. Just the mere thought of standing at her level would make me throw you out. Consider yourself lucky. I don't like my wife to see anything disturbing. Will be the only reason you'll be spared by spending some bucks. Jungkook took Wine back to his office, wrapping his protective arm around her. Once they were inside, he back hugged her and kissed her neck. Jungkook, sorry, my queen. You had to see all that. Fine, it's settled now. Although I was a little mad seeing someone claiming what's mine with so much confidence, she needed to know her place. She closed her eyes when Jungkook started to place kisses all over her neck. It was a sign for her to know, no matter what the world said, she'll be the only one to receive his love and his affection. She's the sole owner of him. Miss Choi turned around, seeing a lot of employees. The same people who used to respect her now looking at her with disgusted and mad eyes, calling her names and crazy. His words were one thing, his actions were another. She had been working for him for years. She knew her life was ruined. The report of fee she had to pay reached her hands 2 days later, and even if she sold the organs of her 7 generations, she wouldn't be able to pay all of it. She couldn't believe she lost him, the man she wanted to own. His wealth, she wanted all to herself, and now instead she had to pay him, and failing to do so was a clear death. Every time she remembered Wine, his real wife, she was reminded of the true power a proud wife holds, while she stands before her husband. A kind of grace only Wine held, that a dupe like her would never be able to achieve.